I wish I could do that at work. I wish someone would start talking to me. I'd just be like, "Nice to see you," and just go walk away. We don't have to do this. We don't need to have this conversation. How was your weekend? Good. Mine was fine. Nice to see you.
PJ, you want to go? You want me to take it over?
No, I go. I go. Unless I'm an idiot. Jeez. This is why we don't do it on Mondays. Totally cried already.
Guys getting processed at CVS.
What's the turnaround time on this? A week? That's not going to work.
It was half his vacation at Disney World, half following a dangerous assassin around the world.
Hey guys, welcome in and thanks for joining us for episode 13 of Whiskey Flicks. Today my brothers and I will be pairing Sam Adams Summer with Caddyshack. Taylor, when you're ready, take it over and talk about Sam Adams Summer.
Oh, I'm super excited to talk about Sam Summer. This style wheat beer is everything that's wrong with wheat ales. I mean, I haven't had this beer in quite some time, and just cracking a few open these last few minutes, it's awful. It's really not good. It tastes like what a 50-year-old would drink at a pool party. Like the dad with kids who's grilling but still thinks he's cool. This is what he's drinking. This thing.
Give me 1 second. In 5 years, don't drink Sam Summer.
Yeah, you're done, man.
Got it.
I mean, that's an easy to do though.
Hey guys, want a burger?
Yeah, exactly. It's so bad. It just tastes like lemon, and that's it. It's not very good. I wish I had more. I don't enjoy it one bit.
I agree. It's gotta be hard for especially a guy who's drinking IPAs all the time to do this. It's so weak. It's just,
there's
the
nothing.
problem. The problem is, honestly, for me, it's like a quintessential wheat ale. Like, it's good. It's not good. To style, it's very good. It's just not good. And I guess that's why when we talked about it last week, we're like, I never know why I don't go for a wheat ale. I think we do know why we don't go for it.
True.
And this is why. We just don't like them that much. It's clean. It's crisp. It's definitely lemon, for sure, obviously. Very minimal spice from the coriander, or the grains of paradise, but not a lot. Just a simple, easy summer drink.
It is easy. It's definitely easy to drink, but
I think that's the problem. I think that when you spend the money and buy a beer, you want a beer.
Yeah.
We don't look for this.
No.
But I don't know. Maybe on the golf course, segue, this would be pretty good. I don't know. But for me, not me neither. I don't need it.
Great call with on the golf course. Yeah, because I could definitely drink these like one each hole and not feel totally awful. This is because to Taylor's point, it's easy. Like it's an easy drink. It's an easy beer, nothing crazy. But like Michael said, you beat me to it. I have a very small window of wheat ales that I like. Like they have to be a certain thing. Small. Small window. And this just isn't one of them. I don't like I just don't care for the taste. It just doesn't taste good. It is refreshing. It's nice, on like a warm day. Like it's, not overpowering. It's not like going to coat your palate to be like, so it's fine there. It's good in that sense, refreshing. But other than that, it's just mediocre. It's just not good. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
It's I haven't had it in so long, and yet I knew exactly what it was going to be before I even drank it. And then I sipped it, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I thought it was. And it's the same thing with a Blue Moon or insert generic wheat ale here. It's awful. It's terrible. It's what a 21-year-old girl would get at a bar if they didn't have mixed drinks. It's like,
Truth hurts.
I like it because it's so light, citrusy.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And the bell. You remember. It's very true. I mean, you're absolutely correct. It is. It's very generic. And again, back to my original point, it's good. It's made very well. It's just not anything I want to drink. I would definitely go to Namaste first.
Oh, for sure.
If I have a choice, right? It's just too easy. Well, but I mean, who are we? We're the 5%ers. Sam Adams doesn't care.
Yeah, that's very true. They don't need us.
No.
They definitely don't need us.
Not at all.
As it goes to show, this is the first Sam Adams product I bought in a long time. They're still doing just fine. If anyone from Sam Adams even watched this, they'd be like, who gives a shit?
Who are these guys?
I actually did think that Rebel IPA was a solid IPA.
I've had that. That was very good.
I actually never minded that beer.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it as well, but I feel that goes to, which I don't agree with, but like, I'll say it this way, the difficulty of making a bad IPA.
True.
I feel like I've had it, and I said the same thing. I was like, oh, this is good, but I was like, is this like really good, or is this just...
No, it's just hops.
It's just like a middle, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
Yeah. It's the buffalo chicken pizza of beer. It's like, well, we can't make a pizza, but here's a shit ton of buffalo chicken on top, so maybe you don't know it. Should I order a cheese from here? No.
I'll tell you, man. Let's review this shit.
Literally.
I'll go first, just to set the precedent. I'm going to give it a 2. It is a 2. It's not bad. I think it's a pretty good rendition of what the American wheat style should be. It's probably, again, like we talked about, too good. It's just too clean, too crisp. There's not a lot going on. It's very easy to drink. It's a poundable beer. 5.3%. Just hang out and drink this, mow your lawn, chill out, listen to a baseball game. Sure.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. It's just generic. It's very easy, very simple. Not a lot going on. So for me, it doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna give it a 2.
I'll follow up, Taylor. I'll let you go last. Agreed. It's a 2, a soft 2. I just don't care for this style. It just doesn't do it for me.
So I am going to go ahead and just go solely based on my opinion and give it my first ever 1 star.
Nice.
I hate this beer. Seriously. It's so bad. It's everything I hate about beer. It's flavorless. It's citrusy. It's awful. It really is.
Is this your first ever paper cup, or is that beyond, like, under a 1?
See, I feel like paper cup it's close. It's really close. It's like PJ's. It's like both of you said. Honestly, I get that it's probably not a terrible wheat ale. Maybe that's what's keeping me away from giving it the paper cup, is that this is solely me just hating this style of beer, not loving Sam Adams, hating seasonals. I mean, I never like seasonals. I rarely do.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So yeah, it just for me it checks a lot of the wrong boxes. It's like I'm going down the list of everything I don't want in my beer, and this is this is it. This is.
I hope to God we're still doing this in September before pumpkins come out. I can't wait.
Oh, for the Oktoberfest?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, pumpkin flavored beers. Don't even get me started on this.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. We could just do a bunch of pumpkin. Oh man. Okay, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Halloween,
that would be
Halloween and Dogfish Pumpkin. I'm in.
Oh.
See, I actually don't hate Dogfish Pumpkin.
Dogfish
I
Pumpkin.
don't.
Amazing.
I don't love it, but I do.
Yeah, no.
But I don't hate
We
it.
should do that one then, because I have differing opinion.
I'd be on board for that. Yes. So in conclusion, 1 star, done. Don't like it at all. Would never buy again. And then just my last little thing. We were leaving work yesterday, and someone's just like, "Who left a Sam Summer up here?" It's like, anyway, my coworker picked it up and went to go put it back. I was like, "It's mine." He's like, "Seriously?" It's like, "Yes."
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna read your thoughts.
Initial thoughts on Caddyshack. PJ, take it over.
Okay, so initial thoughts. It's very funny. Not setting the world on fire there. I think I don't like this movie as much as I think I'm supposed to. So by that I mean, I feel like this is like one of everyone's like classic comedies that they would put in like their like top 5, top 3, like maybe their all-time comedies. It's just not there for me. It's very funny. Scenes are great. Cast is obviously good. The story is acceptable. It's a more I guess believable story than like an Airplane. Like at least it's more of a plot to it. But it's still ridiculous. But it's funny. Laugh out loud. Rodney Dangerfield steals it for me. Overall, good. That's my initial thoughts.
Taylor.
Yeah, that was pretty spot on, PJ. I definitely have scenes that I really like from this movie, and I definitely found myself laughing a good amount watching it. Yeah, the plot's not bad. It all ties together kind of nicely for a comedy where I think it's just a ton of like one-liners and kind of things like that. Yeah, for me, I don't know. I think I'm right there with you, PJ. I wish I liked it more. Each time I watch it, I think maybe I'm gonna like it a little bit more. But it's always just like I'm always right there. It's consistent every time. I laugh, but it never gets to that next level for me. Now, initial thoughts. It's good. It's funny. It's a classic comedy, obviously. But yeah, I'm right there with you, PJ. I'm kind of right in the middle with it. I don't know, and I'm very excited to see what Mike thinks of it because I have a feeling it's not going to be that forgiving.
Yeah. Now, initial thoughts for me are this is the best beer and movie pairing we've done so far in the worst possible way. Moving on. So, Chevy Chase. For me, this just shows that he was always Chevy Chase. He stuck with his thing all the time. His delivery, the way that he does things, his faces, they were great. Like they were, you knew him. It felt like, I felt warm and fuzzy when I saw him. I was like, that's awesome. I know that guy. He's amazing. He's going to go on to do great things. His lines were crazy when they were first playing golf together, and he was like, "Do you take drugs, Danny?" And Danny was like,
I was literally just gonna say that too. That was like my initial Chevy Chase thought. Every
He's
day,
like,
good.
Every day, good.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's amazing. When he's like, I have to go to college, and he's like, this isn't Russia. Wait, is it Russia? It's not Russia.
Yeah.
Classic Chevy Chase, just so good. Awesome.
He was awesome.
Top billing going to Chevy Chase in the credits. Did anyone else find that interesting? And then Bill Murray got the and Bill Murray. I found that fun. Like the first name you see is Chevy Chase, then Dangerfield, and then like a couple other whatever, and then Bill Murray as I'm blanking on his name, of course, because I didn't write it down.
Carl.
Thank you. I wonder if that was because at the time, like Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, like they're kind of like right, ascending at the same time. I don't know. I just found that interesting. And
I think I'm going to go off relationship at that point. No, because I think Harold Ramis, the writer, and Bill Murray, I mean, that's a classic combination for a little bit of a time there. That's Ghostbusters. That's Groundhog Day.
Sure.
That's Caddyshack.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's back to that Canadian show, the SNC or S, whatever the hell it was called. But Saturday Night Live in Canada, whatever that was.
I know what you're talking about. I got you.
They were all the way back there. So I would assume, because I always think that the end, Bill Murray is the bigger one, no?
So, I disagree. It's always the first name you see.
I always felt, I know that you're right. And I think that maybe that's it. Maybe it's Harold Ramis couldn't figure out how to do that.
Yes.
So he gave Chevy Chase the initial and then Bill Murray the finish, because the end is always like that star.
Sure. That's always I agree with that.
Because you do everything else and then you do and Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? But Chevy Chase was first.
Yes,
yeah.
So he gets that.
I will say that this cast is obviously it's so awesome. Everyone's so funny, Mike. You're spot on with Chevy Chase's lines in this movie. I mean, he gets me very often, and it's not doing anything other than what Chevy Chase does. It's just like those simple, just like he just hits at the right time, and like every time, like you said, his delivery is just so spot on.
Super dry, super simple. I mean, why do I laugh at "thank you very little"?
Yeah.
Why am I laughing at that?
The other one I love is how do you measure yourself against other golfers? By height.
By height. Why is that? How is that? Why do I chuckle? Why am I laughing?
See, that one I definitely chuckled at, and I knew, like, right away I was just like, man, I was like, is that funny that I was actually laughing out loud? But it's just a delivery.
Exactly.
It lands. It just lands. It's awesome.
So good.
And then to PJ's point, Rodney Dangerfield does steal the show, and he's just on fire from the very beginning.
On fire.
Like, what are you taking pictures of the parking lot?
I have. What's with the pictures? It's a parking lot.
And Taylor, have you seen Back to School yet?
I have not. But we talked about doing that on this podcast, but I haven't seen it.
And once school or colleges go back, I think we should do it like September sometimes.
That's a great call. And when you see Back to School, Taylor, you're going to think about this and the lines that he delivered here, and you're going to meld those up. Like when I watched it, I was like, oh, damn, that's what Harold Ramis was watching when he wrote Back to School.
Gotcha.
Because those lines that he did when he walks into the gift shop, the golf shop, he does the same thing in Back to School.
Yeah, like, he does.
Verbatim. Just a different products.
Sure.
It was crazy. You're right. He crushed when he goes in there and he's like, he looks at the hat. He's like, I bet you get a bowl of soup for free with this hat.
Looks good on you, though.
Looks good on you, though. I mean, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I like when he calls him, how about when he goes, this is Dr. Wang. No offense. Oh, man.
And he also, when he says that the club is, I don't know what the setup line is, like, it's very exclusive, don't tell him you're Jewish.
That one was very funny.
This is two movies from the 80s that we've watched. Is it back to back? No. We did it before The Sandlot, The Airplane, and then this one. I tell you, man, they were just getting after it in those movies.
40 years has made a lot of difference.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that? I didn't catch that.
40 years has made a lot of difference.
A lot of difference.
Yeah. To go off Michael's point of, like, again, different times, when Bill Murray is doing, like, talking dirty to the old women teeing off, that's creepy as fuck.
It's super creepy.
Cleaning his balls.
They have two different scenes of it.
This is I have it written down
The
twice.
second scene where he says "bark like a dog." She's like 75.
The first time we meet him is that what PJ brought up. He's cleaning the balls.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's talking.
And he's just saying the worst stuff.
What is happening? Oh my goodness. And then when he does and then again, it's just those three guys stealing the show for me. When he does the Dalai Lama speech and he has a pitchfork on the guy's chest.
Yeah.
So hilarious.
My note was that he's really digging in, like at the end.
Yeah.
He's really getting in there.
And then
I mean, that's like an all-time thing that people quote.
Oh yeah.
To no end still. And like the Dalai Lama, like that whole thing, like
nice.
I'm sure, I mean, I've heard that so many times or referenced so many times, and I feel like that's probably a quote that older people would know and be proud that they could do the whole scene, like as Bill, you know what I mean? Like they memorized it and they're like, oh, I know the whole thing. And they're like, it's cool that I know.
My quote that I heard all the time was Noonan.
Okay.
I got Noonan. So playing like basketball with kids at school.
Sure.
You take a free throw and you go to shoot and they're like, Noonan!
He's doing the
I like that though. That's kind of cool.
That was a big one. That was huge when I was coming up. I heard that a lot. And I had not seen that movie, so I had no idea what they were talking about. Then I watched it, and when they were doing that shot, and they're like, Noonan! And I was like,
yeah, I love how the judge like hushes him once, and like he stops, but then like the camera pans out, and they're just right back to doing it.
I love that. I like the names. I brought up IMDb just to give you guys the names. So I'm pretty sure that Dangerfield's name in the movie is Cervix.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cindy Morgan. Lacey Underall. The one doctor's name is Dr. Beeper.
Okay.
It's probably just
and the other guy's name is the Bishop. It's like so easy. So ridiculous.
The guy's getting drunk. I'm just a man. No, you're not. You're a bishop.
And this one, I wanted to. I wrote it down anyway, just in case I couldn't find it. But the bishop, to go in correlation with that, the other guy's name was Smoker Porterhouse.
That's awesome.
When he's doing his shoes and he looks up and he's
God.
He goes, "Colored boy?" You son of a bitch.
Laughing to himself as the shoes burning.
Oh my God, I almost died. I watched that like 3 times in a row.
Oh,
It was so
it's
great.
definitely one of the funnier parts of the movie. It's so good.
The Jewish guy, the Catholic guy, and the colored boy. Colored boy. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Have Danny playing for the first time with the judge, or caddying for the judge, but where he's kicking the ball along, and then he goes, "Why don't you improve your lie, little sir?" And to circle back to Rodney Dangerfield playing the music in the fairway, and the judge goes, "This is against our personal privacies." And then Danny goes, "Oh, I've always been really into law." And the judge asks him what areas, and he says, personal privacies, noise statutes."
So good. That's great.
And then doesn't that end with Danny being like, "Oh, well, I can't afford it," and the judge is like, "Yeah, well, the world needs ditch diggers."
Yes. Yep.
I like before when he tries to cash his ticket and Danny's behind the counter and he raises the prices because Lou's been doing bad at the track, which is hilarious. It's like, I ain't paying 50 cents for no Coke. Oh, well then you ain't getting no Coke.
I have a note. How does he not think through the fact that he's gonna have to leave the office at some point?
At some
Like,
point,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen. Like, why are you being an asshole?
You don't need me for anything? We're good?
Yeah, right. Also, he's still right there. Like, if they were worried about getting caught, they really didn't go that far. What's the sign say? No fighting. Let's go 10 feet from that sign. To do the caddy tournament. The second place was a pair of socks, and third place was a bag of teas.
What?
So good. So good.
First
Wait,
place was a tiny trophy.
Yep.
So when they're doing the caddy tournament,
Yeah.
before it actually gets underway, and Danny and Tony, right? Is Tony the
They
Italian
show
kid?
the prizes.
Yeah, they show the prizes, and first is the little trophy, second is a pair of socks, and third is a bag of teas.
So good.
I didn't catch that. That's super funny.
That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack.
Fun fact is this, that Cinderella scene with Bill Murray was completely ad-libbed off of like 2 lines of script that Harold Ramis wrote, apparently. He told Bill Murray, he was like, "I need you to just be a sportscaster and do your own thing," and he went out there and just did that whole Cinderella thing by himself, just made it up the entire time.
Oh, so good.
That shit is hilarious.
That's really good.
That's one of the best parts.
Story. Not sure if he's gonna make it or not. Probably, right? Probably a 5-iron, you would think. It's in the hole.
They weren't terrible golf swings either.
No, there was one that was
Smack
spot
the
on.
shit.
There was one he crushed. He definitely crushed one. That dandelion didn't stand a chance.
Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
Terrible.
I'm gonna get into the review. So I am going to go ahead and make this again what I said in the beginning. It's the best, worst pairing we've done. This is a 2 for me for the movie. I think it's very funny. I think there are very funny parts, but I think that they're skits. I think it's here's Chevy Chase, cut. Here's Bill Murray, cut. Here's what, and cut. Like, it's just, I think the story is a way to help box in what you want to show, which is these 3 funny guys who are doing their thing, and I want to showcase them. And other than that, I don't, like Taylor said, I think that the golf match was forced because they had to make the story make sense. He doesn't like the judge. He doesn't want the money anymore. How's he going to get the money? If he wins the tournament, he gets the money. He gets a scholarship. There's my story. I have something to build on. Now I can showcase Bill Murray, Chevy Chase. Who's the third guy I'm thinking of that I can't get out there? Rodney Dangerfield. Thank you.
Yeah.
Was the whole movie.
Mhm.
Rodney Dangerfield. These 3 guys are friggin' hilarious. I'm going to just build a world around them. And that's what I think this movie is. And that's why I don't think it's a real movie. There are very funny parts. We own it. I'll probably never watch it again.
Really? See, I would watch. I
don't
would
think
definitely
I will.
watch it again.
I don't think I will. I saw it. I get it. I don't. Unless I'm like really drunk one night and I do my 30-minute thing, I may do it. I don't think there's any need to do it. Honestly, I just don't. There's nothing that draws me back. There's no. If This movie makes me think about every other movie. So, for instance, when I see this movie, when I watch this movie, I want to watch Fletch. I want to watch Back to School.
Sure.
I want to watch Groundhog Day. I don't care about this movie. This movie laid a foundation for those for me, and that's where I want to go. So that's why I'm going to give it a 2, just based on the fact that he promoted those 3 guys. Thank you, Howard Ramis. Awesome. You gave them their thing. And now just like, I'll leave that in the background and I'll go and watch their future instead, because it's just, not a big deal.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a solid 3. I don't know. I just think 2 is too low for this movie. I laughed way too many times for me to give it a 2. The whole the whole match at the end was forced.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of plot. I think that it didn't quite gel with the whole thing. I don't know. I just thought that it was like Dangerfield and Chevy Chase's character, like the whole movie. It's not like they were like, like buddies or anything. Like it was just like they're the two who would be against the judge. I don't know. It seems forced. Like every time I watch it, I feel that. Outside of that, though, I thoroughly enjoy it. I definitely will watch it again. But I just thought that had to be mentioned. I'm not a huge fan of the ending. But I do agree with you with a lot of stuff with the plot. Although I do think the story is pretty good for what it is. Because like you said, I guess now I think about it a little differently. I think you're right, Michael, with the just like it's skit after skit. And I think they did kind of form those into a cohesive movie. But yeah, again, I laugh too much. I will definitely go back and watch this one again. I think it's better on cable, flipping through channels and catching it at a certain scene.
Agree.
Like if you catch it at the right spot, like you're gonna laugh. You're gonna have a good time watching it, and then maybe you watch 15 minutes and then you flip. So that's where I'm at. I think solid 3 is fair. I recognize that this is a classic. I understand why people find it hilarious. So solid 3 for me. This is much better than Sam Adams Summer Ale. So so giving it a 2 would be way too close for me. I don't like it being right there. Wow.
All right, larceny and Boston Beer Company. God.
No future sponsorships from them.
No. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm leaning towards score wise, and then I'm gonna explain. I'm a strong 3, soft 4. And here's why. Because of everything Michael said, which he liked, but like the aftermath of it, or like the effects of it. I would say strong 3, soft 4, because this is like a very known beginning point before Chevy Chase, Dangerfield, and Bill Murray really like completely exploded movie-wise, right?
Nice, yeah.
I mean, yes, they're on SNL, and Dangerfield doing his thing. Like they were funny well before this, but like I view this as, like you said, Michael, just a showcase. Be like, here's 3 people who we think are super funny, and we have the money to make a movie, so we're gonna make one and highlight these 3 people, and then we'll see what happens with their career. And then of course they blow up, and just become crazy.
Right.
So,
and they all did.
Yeah. Which is why and compared to another more modern-ish movie, is why I love So I Married an Axe Murderer. Because if you watch that movie, and I love Mike Myers.
Sure.
If you watch that, and Taylor, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Mike, I know you have. It is basically a movie where he gets to do like Dr. Evil or all these like, not as those, but he just basically gets to do his thing for 90 minutes. I wonder where that comes in. I'm sure it's 90 minutes. And he can do funny stuff, and you can see the precursor of what he's going to become.
If I
So-
may, I'm pretty sure Fat Bastard was in there too.
Exactly. No, I think you're right. Like
Yeah.
like his Austin Powers was basically piloted on like So I Married An in terms of a movie.
Oh.
And so because of that, I would, and if we ever see So I Married an Axe Murderer, I won't give a rating. But like I love that. I just think it's very funny. I love the genesis of what he became. So for this, that's why I give it such a high rating, is because it's like seeing a rookie like come up like late in the season and see glimpses of like greatness, and then like they come up and they're like, oh, okay. So that's why I'm gonna go with a soft 4. I just talked myself into it. A soft.
I feel like someone had to give it a 4, so I'm glad you did, PJ. I thought both of you
it's
would.
super funny. Like there's very few movies I've laughed louder than this one. Like there's certain points of this movie where I'm just like belly laughing, like real, like it's super. It doesn't reach the consistent heights of like all my all-time favorite comedies, but it'll get you a few times to a point where you're like, wow, this is really good. And again, to see where they went, even with Ramis, like writing it, like to see where he went, like it gets more of a rating because of that. It's the same reason why I always rate the first movie of a trilogy ahead of all the other ones. Because like if the first one didn't hit, who gives a shit? Like you're not going to see 2 or 3.
Sure.
I feel like this is the same way. This will be my last comparison. This is why I like Old School better than Wedding Crashers or any movie that came after, because Old School was the first time that you kind of got those guys together, like in one movie, and it kind of went from there. Then Will Ferrell kind of went off and did his thing. Vince Vaughn went off and did, like, so it gets a bump for me.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Join us next time when we pair Dogfish Head Sequential with Jaws. Until then, cheers.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.